A Benchy in 13 minutes, 4-color printing with half the waste and time purging filament, all without an external multicolor system? This printer isn't your ordinary 4-color bed slinger. This is Anycubic's newest printer, the Kobra X. This printer packs a lot of new features in their new toolhead, the Ace Gen 2. Before we take a closer look at those features, I do want to let you know that Anycubic did send me this printer for free to test out in a video, but the thoughts and opinions here are my own. Now let's take a look at the features. The big one is the Ace Gen 2 filament changer. Instead of the need for an additional unit for multicolor printing taking up more space in your work area, it's actually built right into the toolhead. Up to 4 filament spools are mounted right on the top here, and it is possible to get up to 19 colors if you connect 4 additional Ace 2 Pros. I don't know if anybody really needs 19 colors, but it's nice to know it's possible. Another feature in this toolhead is the short distance between the cutter and the end of the nozzle, only 35 millimeters. Because of this, Anycubic claims there is half the filament waste and half the time for color changes. So I will be testing that compared to my other printers. The build volume is 260 by 260 by 260 millimeters, so it's slightly bigger than its competitors. It has a top print speed of 600 millimeters a second and a default speed of 300 millimeters a second. You can even print TPU and PLA together in one print. AI error detection with a built-in 720p camera, a quick change nozzle. This is a whole lot more than I got when I first started 3D printing. Plus, this is for a printer that's under $400. I think it's time to put it together and try it out. I wanted to see how long it really takes to unbox and set up this printer, so I just set up a timer and 2 cameras and got to work. I removed the foam and zip ties from the base and frame. This frame is really easy to install since the 8 screws screw in from the top. To move the Z-axis, you need to remove the screws and locks on each side of the frame. Then just move the belt under the top of the frame to move the Z-axis up or down. Next, I tilt the printer and open the cover at the bottom to plug in all the wires. I did end up missing one end of a plug for the Z-axis, so I had to plug it in later. Next is the spool holders. I put them together and install them at the top of the frame. They are labeled 1 through 4, so make sure you install them on the correct side. Then I installed the filament tubes. Last, I attached the purge wiper and the print plate. Overall, it was easy to put together, and it took about 22 minutes to unbox and assemble. After assembling, you want to get the Anycubic app on your phone and the Anycubic slicer on your computer. Then start the initial setup. This process includes calibrating the vibration compensation. Other printers just test the vibration with the printhead in one position, but this printer tests the vibration with the printhead moving left and right, and with the print bed moving back and forth. It also calibrates for active noise cancellation. It tests the printhead moving left and right in multiple speeds, and the same thing for the print bed. Anycubic states that this printer operates at 48 decibels, so I'll be sure to test that out during one of the prints later in this video. Now that the setup's complete, I'll go ahead and load some filament for the first print. Just feed the filament through the tube until you hear the notification sound. There are a few files in your printer to get you started. One is a first layer print test. Let's try that out first. It prints just one layer over the entire print bed. I have to say that this looks really good. I know I wouldn't get anywhere near this quality with the first printer I started with, especially since I had to level it manually. Okay, now let's test the 14-minute Benchy. When I was testing the Kobra 3 Max, I think it was a 17 or 18-minute Benchy. Well, this one actually finished in just over 13 minutes. I also printed the 40-minute higher quality Benchy. Here you can see the comparison of the two. There is a little bit of stringing and there is a difference in quality, but for just over 13 minutes, I'm actually more impressed with this one. For printing TPU and PLA together, you need to use the right TPU, which is 68D. I only have TPU 95A. I wasn't able to get any 68D in time for this video, so this is one feature I wasn't able to test. So now I want to find a 4-color model so I can test out the Ace Gen 2 filament system. I printed these bears at my daughter's request. She wanted them to give out to her friends for Valentine's Day, so that worked out perfectly. I set up the print for 8 bears, added supports, and sliced it. There will be 308 filament changes. That comes to 3.5 hours for filament purge time, plus 20 hours for the model, which comes to about 24 hours of total time for this print. For the material, it's about 200 grams for the models, 23 grams for the supports. These amounts would be the same as any other printer, but then you have the purge waste at 53 grams and the prime tower at 20 grams. Overall material is 300 grams for these 8 bears. I go ahead and start the print. It's about halfway through the print, and so far so good. Now I want to take a look at how long it takes for a filament change. With the material change all happening within the toolhead, it saves time since the filament only retracts 30 millimeters as opposed to 160 millimeters on the Kobra 3 toolhead. Plus, with the 35 millimeter distance between the center and the nozzle tip, it cuts down on both material and time to purge. Not including the prime tower, it took 55 seconds to purge and change the filaments. I wanted to compare it with a couple of my other printers, so I printed the same bear on each of those, the Kobra 3 Max and the Bamboo P1S. On the Kobra 3 Max, it was 1 minute and 18 seconds. And on the P1S, it was 1 minute and 24 seconds. With both comparisons, it comes out to about a 30 to 35% time savings. Okay, back to the bears. After 24 hours, this print is done. Here's the purge waste for the Kobra X. 53 grams. And here's the Kobra 3 Max. 96 grams. Last is the P1S. After adding back in the ones I spilled, 84 grams. Compared to the Kobra 3 Max, it's almost 50% less purge waste. And compared to the P1S, it's about 30% less. And here's a comparison of the quality between the three printers. You can't really tell the difference between the Kobra X and the P1S. They both look better than the Kobra 3 Max. Not bad at all considering the Kobra X is about half the price. I want to mention these last features before I share my final thoughts. There's the quick change nozzle. Just pull off the boot, undo a couple latches, and then it comes right out. And it's just as easy to put back in as you can see here. It's pretty easy, but it is a tight space to reach in, and I thought the quick change was better on the Kobra 3 Max with just one latch to pull down. I also tested the noise level with the decibel reader app. For the most part, it stayed under 48 decibels, although I did see a couple spikes in the 50s when the printhead moved quickly from one side to the other. There's also the AI detection. There's one setting to detect foreign objects on the build plate. It's a quick double check before a print to make sure you didn't forget to remove the last print. I wanted to test the spaghetti detection, but none of my prints failed. So I set up 3 Benchys with the block removed from the third one to force it to fail. It did catch it and pause the print, but I had to set it to the highest sensitivity to do so. Another feature is the ability to stop printing just one or more models for the remainder of the print. You can do that from the slicer, the app, or on the printer screen. This will save you filament and prevent a failed print from coming off the plate and possibly affecting a good model. You can see these two continued as the failed one was stopped. I've been using the printer for a few weeks now, and I do have to say I was really impressed. The print quality was good, it was easy to use, and it did everything it was supposed to do. Plus, with the Ace Gen 2 saving both time and filament, this printer really stands out over similar priced printers. I think it's a great printer for someone who's new to 3D printing and is just getting started, or maybe someone who wants to do a lot of multicolor prints on a budget. If you want to check out this printer for yourself and see the current pricing, be sure to click the link in the video description and use my coupon code to save an extra 15 bucks. Thank you for watching.